All right, hello everybody. I'm Noah Hughes, creative director on Tomb Raider, and today we're going to take a look at some of the base camp systems. We have Lara's survival skills, we have salvage and weapon upgrades, and we also have a fast travel system that lets you travel between base camps. So if I take a seat at this day camp here, I've got some skills and some salvage to spend. Normally I wouldn't have this much cash on hand, but we've cheated ahead here. So I wanted to share some of the skills that you can buy. So if we jump into the menu here, you can see I've already bought a few of them. We've got animal instincts, which helps spot hunting and food sources. We can get more experience out of those food sources. And this is the survivalist category. So things in this category really are about helping Lara survive on the island and progress more quickly and leverage the things in her environment. We can see that she can learn to get more salvage out of things. This one in particular I like, Bone Collector, because essentially you can get salvage from hunting. And salvage is the economy that allows the player to upgrade their weapons. So right now we're in the skills menu. I'll go ahead and buy that as well. I'm going to just buy a bunch of skills here. We got arrow retrieval, which is pretty cool because with ammo scarcity on the island, it's particularly nice to be able to retrieve the arrows that you shoot into guys. And that's just one of the advantages to the bow, actually, is that it has an ammo type that you can retrieve from enemies. If we jump over to the hunter skills here, these are really focusing on Lara's sort of range mechanics. So we have a steady shot, which will allow her to hold that bow charge longer, and ammo capacity, which I particularly like because with ammo scarcity, when I can load up, I like to load up as much as possible. And we'll jump over to Brawler. This is really more about some of those close combat mechanics. We have survivability in the form of pain tolerance here. Lara's going to last longer in combat. But we also have the ability to add moves. So early on, those are a little less lethal. So we have something here called Dirty Tricks. Lara's able to throw dirt in enemies' eyes as she's scrambling past. So we'll go ahead and buy that. Let's see. You can see as we buy skills, we have to buy enough in order to unlock the next tier. So we can see now that I've basically bought enough skills on that 7th skill purchase. I'm now a hardened tier, so that's going to unlock the next set of skills available to Lara. But she also grows as a character in this process. So in the context of a character arc, she becomes more powerful. And in this case, she's able to use her axe during melee now. So now that I've bought a few skills, we'll go ahead and jump out of the base camp and use a few of them here. Find a little combat. Let's progress. We're trying to get to the radio tower here, but we're in scavenger territory. They've taken over this ancient Japanese base. Oh. All right, so it looks like they've got the drop on me here. There's no chance of surprise, so I'm going to have to stay in cover a bit. You can see now if I'm using arrows on guys, those are ammo that I'll be able to get back off of him. We can also see on this guy, we'll throw sand in his eyes there, stun him for a minute. That'll give us a chance to knock him down, use a finisher on him. So this is just an example of integrating some of those moves I bought into my combat experience. Also, later on in the skills, right now you can see Lara's using a rock to finish guys off, which is just part of her sort of rough and inexperienced and starting point combat moves. But you can actually unlock finishers with the other weapons. You can get finishers for the bow, you can get finishers for the guns, and of course the climbing axe can even come into play in melee. But I'm going to go ahead and I don't want to spoil the whole combat system. We're looking mainly at Lara's progression today, so I'm going to jump ahead to the next base camp. All right, Lara's trying to make her way to the radio tower here, and we managed to fight our way through some of the scavenger resistance. We have available a base camp here, so before we progress, I'm going to sit down at the base camp. wanted to show some of the gear upgrades as well. We took a little bit of a look at Lara's skill system, but we can see here also that each weapon type allows upgrades. So if we look at the bow, we got reinforced limbs here. This is going to add damage to your shots. Also, you can see we have a wrapped string. This is going to increase the firing rate. But what's important is that as you collect weapon parts on the island, you can actually upgrade to the next bow. So that'll then naturally increase the stats of that weapon, but it'll also open up more opportunities for upgrading that weapon. So if we back out here, we can jump over to another weapon. You can see in this level I've actually just acquired my submachine gun. So again, just taking a look at some of the options, we have increased firing rate, we have the taped magazine, which allows quicker reloading. So we really tried to offer weapon upgrades, but also present them in the context of Lara's survival story. So as I'm exploring, I'm gaining experience, I'm unlocking skills, and in this case, I'm upgrading my weapons. So I guess the last thing we wanted to show you in base camps was our fast travel system. So in addition to upgrading Lara and upgrading Lara's gear, we can also sort of cater to the exploration. A lot of times we find people maybe progress to a point in the story like this, but then maybe want to take a few minutes to go back and clear out a level. And in particular, if you're running into some difficulties with encountering enemies, really these weapon upgrades are going to make the combat easier for you. So if we jump in here to the fast travel system, you can get a taste of I've only been to a few areas on the island so far, but each area that I get to is going to add a base camp to the fast travel system. So in this case, wanting to get a little bit more powerful, we want to earn a few more experience points and get a little bit more salvage. I can jump in and actually travel back to maybe in this case the very first base camp that we ever discovered. So here we are back in Amelia's camp. This is the coastal forest area, but now I'm coming back with some extra skills and going to go ahead and do a little bit more hunting. And while we're at it, we can do some exploration and find other items on the map. So if in particular you want some assistance in locating items, there's also skills for that. So I could get the orienteering skill, which is going to help me see collectibles in the world. And then when I use survival instinct, those are going to pop out. And again, since we bought that hunting skill, we also see that the animals in the world are glowing here. It makes it easier to spot them. If we go ahead and try to get a deer here, we can see sort of the survival upgrades coming into play. So when we loot a deer now, we're getting more experience for that, but we're also getting salvage. So now when I loot animals, I'm collecting bones, I'm collecting leather off the corpses, and then when I go back into camp to upgrade weapons, I've got more options. So that's just an example of using fast travel to travel back to an area. It's a different time of day, and you can basically use that to explore the island at your own pace. And in a lot of cases, clear out an area. If I bring up the map, I can see, in particular, I only have 7% of the things completed in this space. There's documents to find, relics to find, and all of that. But the key is that you can do that at your own pace, and fast travel is what allows you to do that. And Lara's progression systems really reward you for doing that. So I hope you enjoyed it today. We showing the base camps, and look forward to sharing more in the future. Tune in to IGN for everything Tomb Raider.